Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to Prospect Central 101. My name is Chris, and today joining me we have.
Keelan.
Braden.
And
Nice.
we're,
Thank you, Braden.
and we're going to be watching some Alim McNeill with you guys today. He was the Lions' third round draft pick at 72. Yes, 72. So a little bit about McNeill before we get too far into him. I will start by reading off his RAS card for you guys. He is very small in terms of height, only 6'1" and 7/8", which is 30th percentile. Weight is 317, so about 320, which is 85th percentile. It's pretty good. Bench press 27 reps, 67th percentile is about average. Vertical jump 30 and a half is about average there at 76. Broad jump 9 feet straight, which is about 73rd percentile. And for those of you guys who are coming over from the Levi Wuzuriki video, you'll notice there's some pretty consistent similarities there. 27 to 29 bench, 30 to 30 and a half vertical, and 9 to 9 foot 1 broad jumps. So you're seeing a pretty consistent trend with those measurements there already. 40-yard dash, 5 seconds is 81st percentile, which is in the good tier. 20-yard split a little bit slower, 2.9, same thing as Levi, in terms of that 20-yard split being the slowest of the three. And then that 10-yard split, 168, which is 95th percentile. So again, very, very consistent uh, with Levi as well there. So that's good to see. We're establishing some pretty solid, consistent baselines for the interior lineman going forward. And then for the shuttle, we have a 4.65, which is 60th percentile, and 3 cone also 60th percentile at 7.68. So, Brayden, you said you've already watched Liam McNeill before we started with this. Your thoughts on him for the video?
Honestly, he's a very good player. He's going to be a very good pass rusher from the interior. Not as going to be as good as a run defender as Levi was, but yeah, and maybe a less like touch less like naturally anchor. That's the word I was looking for. Like not as good an anchor, but it's still more than good enough. So, but yeah, he's going to be more of your pass rushing interior lineman, where Levi he had potential. He has definitely has potential to grow, but he's more of your run defender, collapse the pocket, where you're going to see quite a few pass rushing maneuvers and stuff from Alim.
Cool. Keelan, what do you know about Ali McNeill, if anything?
Pretty much nothing. I just know that a lot of people were pretty high on him as an early second round pick.
Nice. So we will start with the Wake Forest game here. Since that's a solo table, we can kind of identify them and pick them out and everything else from there. You guys can see the screen okay, right?
Yeah,
Yes.
It's not like flashing black or anything for you guys?
No.
no.
Okay, so I may need to help you guys carry me a little bit here, because I'm having a little bit of a screen issue. But it's fine, we'll get through it. Okay. First observation is he does appear to be a little bit slower off the snap point than Levi was,
Yeah.
which isn't saying much, but okay.
I mean, good anchor.
Yeah, and the other thing that we're seeing too that we talked about a lot in the Levi video was he is drawing that double, which is nice to
Hmm.
see. Frees up the players behind him to make the play, which, based on what we talked about just now, is something that at least many of us, including myself, hope changes from the last regime, is allowing those second level guys to be the playmakers. Okay.
Really pushing them back there.
Yep. Great bull rush move. Nice hand placement. Nice job. Good anchor there. Okay. Nice job closing the gaps.
I like how he has active hands.
Yep. Good catch. Very physical for sure. Definitely not seeing as much penetration as we saw compared to Levi, which is probably why he fell a little bit further. That should have been a hold
Yeah,
though.
he's not going to be the dude. He's not going to get a ton of just natural penetration from pure strength. He's going to be someone that is going to use a lot more pass rushing type moves to get behind the line.
Okay, interesting. A little bit of a swim move there. Didn't end up really meaning much against the double, but and that is one thing that he was asked about during his pre-draft presser that I was able to catch. Someone brought up his dip in pass rush production. He talked a lot about how the double teams increased for him this year compared to his 2019 tape. So that is something to keep an eye out for. That's a nice spin counter. So it's not necessarily known for his production recently, but traits are still going to hopefully maintain themselves. Nice. Both these two guys, Levi and Alim, both seem very mentally disciplined, which is great to see. Not really seeing them over pursue or flow up and down the line very much. They're both kind of very responsible players who know what their assignment, their role, and their job is. Oh my God, triple team. Another close to triple team.
Suplex City.
Nice job forcing the redirect. Okay.
That was nice.
Yep, definitely got to see a little bit of a bull rush flash here. Great hand placement with the shoulder. And explodes through. And as Keelan mentioned, the active hand is really showing up a little bit in terms of those moves.
Wake Forest, known as with the home of the greatest Denver Bronco of all time, Kendall Hinton. Again, natural power.
Yep, for sure. And like we talked about in the Levi video, the one thing that you're really seeing from both of these dudes is watch the lower half throughout the
Yes,
course of
Keelan?
this play. What do you say, Braden?
I was saying Keelan. I think Keelan wants to say something.
Oh,
No, I pressed the wrong button. My apologies.
Okay. I just assumed you wanted to chime in. You wanted us to shut up so you could say something.
No, I accidentally pressed the raise hand button.
Yeah, I figured you did that on purpose to tell us, hey, shut up.
No, but yeah, no.
yeah, I can't see that.
Yeah, I did. Okay, disregard then.
Okay, so yeah, the one thing that we were talking about with the Levi video is that constant movement effort, and you get to see those legs with the lower half.
I think this has been a constant theme throughout, well, this entire regime from when Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell first stepped foot in Allen Park. They want the guys with the best football character, the best motor, and I think that's been shown through free agency and especially through the first 2 days of the draft.
Yep. Completely agree there for sure. Okay, nice little wood top. Oh my, who is not in that? What is this linebacker doing? Why did he
Vibing?
go so far out?
That's a great question, sir.
Get this guy a map.
That's a
Where are
throwback.
you going? That looks like a quintessential linebacker right there.
Yeah.
Okay, nice job eating the double. Again, no idea what the linebacker is doing here. He gets, I mean, I guess he's responsible for the inside, but like, he just does not get outside enough to be able to play the force there. Somebody was not doing their job as a force player.
That was a bit better, many people are saying.
Well, that's because they had 16 at the force there, or he would have just kicked it around the same way he did the last time. That was, yeah,
Yeah.
more what I'm looking for. Nice. Okay, again, nice active hands. Good collapse. Very nice. Oh, did he force him to recover a fumble?
He recovered it. I couldn't really tell if he was the one who forced it.
Nice job forcing the turnover there, or at least maximizing the opportunity. Oh yeah, he definitely was the one that forced that.
I think he just straight took the damn ball. I think that's straight up what happened.
I don't know if he straight up took it or if he punched it out and then recovered it. Either way, it was definitely him that forced and recovered the ball.
Where are the defensive backs?
And the linebackers. What are these linebackers doing, bro?
Well, yeah. Hmm.
That's my problem with this team. Jeez. Okay, nice job drawing the double. And even the completions, like there's a dude in the middle, there's a dude in the flat.
Two dudes in the flat.
Why is the linebacker so far out of the throwing lane?
That's a. Hmm. Who's coaching their linebackers?
Probably someone who no longer has the job.
Okay, that was a little bit of a sneaky move to avoid the block here. Just slips right underneath the guy, throws him over his head.
I mean it worked.
Oh,
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 okay.
I see.
So, this dude is the Penny Sewell of defensive tackles, I suppose.
he just ended that man's life.
Um, okay, so, what are the odds for Alim McNeill versus Frank Ragnow? Who we take it?
Ragnow based off of experience.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with
Yeah,
Ryan.
Ragnow because I mean he has more experience going up against players like McNeil than McNeil's has going up against players like Ragnow.
Fair. I was half joking, but like I mean that's gonna be making for some fun training camp battles, especially because Ragnar's kind of got his spot locked down, and
Mm-hmm.
McNeil doesn't. He should destroy the living crap out of center too. I don't even know who our backup center is right now. We have
I don't even think. I don't even know if we have a backup
I
I don't.
think
center.
that's technically Stenberg.
Okay, yeah.
Sad.
He's gonna destroy the living crap out of the second team unit, whoever the heck he's matched up with. And this is interesting because like we talked about at least one time with Ozariki here, he's basically got four guys blocking his path when you consider that he's on right tackle and he's or
Yeah.
left tackle and he's along on the right. Depending on what the running back is doing with the route, which it looks like he's not going anywhere. Looks like he's
No.
actually in pass pro. He is getting quadruple teamed.
Yes.
One thing we didn't really talk about with Levi is the arm length, which is something that we're getting to see a little bit on this play here. Does a
Mhm.
great job of getting the arms extended really, really quickly off the snap, which kind of makes up a little bit for that lack of initial burst explosion off the snap timing. He does a great
Mhm.
job of extending the arms and keeping the arms at length, which is also probably why he's a little bit more polished in terms of that moveset that you were mentioning, Braden. Compared to
Yeah.
Levi in that polish, is because he does a really nice job of utilizing the arm length a little bit more than Levi does. Like, just destruction there. Crazy.
I see.
So, your guys' thoughts? We'll start with Braden through the first game.
I mean, it's about what I remembered. He's very good, very polished player. Very definitely has explosion as you saw. Has explosion that you saw. I think he's going to be a very nice addition.
Keelan?
Well, I can definitely see why he was a third round draft pick. I think he's very talented and probably deserved to go higher.
Yeah. He
Um,
was he was before we traded our fourth round. The Broncos traded our fourth. He was someone like that. I was like, yeah, if the Broncos could find a way to commit a robbery and get him in the fourth to add him to our defensive line rotation, we're set. And but I yeah he yeah I mean we're the Lions are taking good players, which is all you can ask for.
yeah, especially this early into a rebuild, you kind of just gotta,
At this point, you're just going BPA. You're not
yeah,
necessarily. It's like obviously a receiver would have been nice, but but you're going to have a ton of opportunities in the future to fix that.
you have too many holes to pick to
Yeah,
not pick BPA and just plug them in and
yeah,
eventually.
And
yeah.
I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but between the break when we were waiting for Keelan to hop in, or
Or
dash
before
Keelan
we
was waiting,
realized
yeah,
for us
for
to
us.
shut the hell up. Yeah,
We talked a little bit about the vision here in the kind of organizational pathway, and I mentioned the Miami Dolphins as a team that kind of is a team where, okay, they didn't necessarily they had a lot of issues in terms of playmakers themselves, and that led to the Waddle pick today or yesterday. But they went with Austin Jackson early. They went with Christian Wilkins early. They went pretty heavy on the trenches themselves during their initial build-up years or build-up year. And they realized,
yeah.
okay, we have a crap ton of picks here in the future coming up where we're going to be able to add playmakers down the line who are going to be a little bit more cost controlled, a little bit less um, financially
Expensive.
constrictive, yes, uh, and we'll be able to kind of fill those positions out a little bit more with our later year picks.
Yeah.
And we were talking about it, and if you think about it, what are we going to do with our Rams pick next year? We have the Rams pick next year in the 20s or 30s most likely, and then we have the Rams pick the year after that in most likely the 20s or 30s again. That's prime receiver spot. We have a lot of cap
Yeah.
space opening up from the Stafford trade next year when his dead cap comes off the books as a result of the cap penalty from the trade. We're going to have a lot of assets to be able to spend on playmakers in year two and year three. And the ability to use our early picks on guys that we really, really like now, who will be able to develop and grow while there's an established base here of leaders in front of them with guys like Brockers and Hand and Williams and so on. Kind of ease them a little bit, get them into an NFL camp, and especially the case of Onwuzurike, maybe I'll get that physicality going in terms of frame. I think it's going to be really beneficial to the situation that these guys are walking into and their development and progression moving forward. Uh, but also, it really fixed the playing in the vision in terms of culture and getting these kneecap eaters, these gritty, grindy, nasty mofos who are gonna make some bodies move uh, and win in the trenches and dominate physically. So
Yeah.
I think that the while obviously I've been pushing for wide receiver myself, and I would have liked Waddle at 6 or 7. Um, I think that the vision here, especially after seeing day two, makes a lot more sense in getting Sewell and getting McNeill and getting Onwuzurike and going for that Miami style of build where we rely on future assets to kind of make up for the playmaker gap there.
Yeah.
So anything else before we kick the Duke game off here?
Nope.
I'm good.
Cool. Oh, I am going to have to restart the first play though. Okay. Oh, nice little finish there at the end. The one thing I will say so far is a little bit of a difference between McNeill and Levi and why Levi was around one caliber player that we felt we took at 41 and McNeill was still there at 72 uh, is the versatility that Levi offers and provides is quite more significant than Alim. A lot of what we're seeing from McNeill so far is lining up at nose or lining up in some cases at one tech. So he is a true interior guy who's going to
Yeah.
be more like that interior defensive tackle, not even just interior defensive lineman like Levi, but
Yeah.
an interior defensive tackle who's kind of limited a little bit to that nose and one spot, based on what we've
He's
seen
gonna
so far.
be he's gonna be that guy that's gonna be rotating with Penasini a lot next season.
Yep.
Whereas Levi's probably gonna be rotating with what in the hell just happened? Rotating with Deshaun Hand.
Yeah, the linebackers are not good. Okay. And like it's kind of hard to establish like with wide receiver pick, like okay, we want to be like a gritty, grindy, motor, aggressive, physical, violent team. I mean,
Hmm.
unless you're taking like a Calvin Johnson, who's like 6'5", 235, and a freaking machine man, you're not going to be able to say we want an, a 9 RAS athlete at wide receiver who's going to be physical and violent,
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't really build a culture around receivers.
right? Oh, okay. Not necessarily sure who won that battle, but everybody ended up on the ground.
Interesting.
Okay, nice physicality right there.
Showing off that sneaky athleticism.
Okay, that was nice. I like the anchoring ability to flow a little bit. Okay, didn't get moved.
This guy straight up controls the line of scrimmage.
Yep. Okay, nice spin counter again. Rip the camera guy. That
That's a
could have
bit
been
of
a
a
hold.
hold.
I see.
Okay, there's a little bit more that actually resulted in a play here from him. So let's see if I can go into settings and slow this down. He got off there. Short yardage goal line on 3rd and goal.
Yeah.
And he explodes through that gap. Yeah, he's right there to make that play. Tackle for loss on a 3rd and goal. That play is going to be very reminiscent of my comparison. And there's another one. Same thing. What? Oh my God. I already know exactly who my comparison is going to be for this kid. Boom. Elite explosion. Completely destroys the gap. And if that is a handoff, you're done.
Yeah.
It's not. They commit the guy to the quarterback. The two
That
defenders
may
get
have
back
been
to
a
their
horse
job.
collar, but we don't need to talk about it.
Oh my. Okay, there's the pass rush moves that Brain was referencing here.
Very
This
cool.
dude, this dude just took a Dwight Freeney masterclass. Okay, very nice. Good job reading the play. Tackle for loss. Nice job splitting the double.
Ooh, good hit.
Does a great job of splitting through.
And then look at this hit.
Many people are saying in the NFL that would be roughing the passer.
I mean, it would be, but it shouldn't. That was a clean hit.
Exactly. That was a good hit.
What are you doing? He was clean too. Okay. Anyway, so that was a pretty short game, only 3 minutes. We're gonna end up watching a third. But what do your guys' opinions or anything change off of that?
No, I'm very, very impressed.
Not a ton.
Okay. So this is going to be a little bit interesting here for a number of reasons. I'm choosing this game specifically because of that, in part.
I mean, also,
Figure.
fuck, we can also see my new running back.
Oh, that's true. Okay.
Who'd
I
you
didn't
guys
think about
draft?
that initially.
Carter? No, we drafted Williams, didn't you?
Williams in the second.
Carter's still there, actually.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he didn't go tonight.
He would be someone I would look very powerfully at if he's there at our 4th-round selection.
Okay, so yeah, we pretty much know, like, even without the finder, that he's more often than not going to be,
Yeah, he's gonna be the nose.
yeah.
He's number 29. Though that's what his number is, 29.
Oh, that was a nice
Right.
displacement. Oh, that was, speaking of running backs, that was a nice move by, I'm assuming Javante or Carter here. Contact
I
balance.
think is that Williams?
Okay, great displacement again. Now, we will have to remember that some of these reps are going to be not McNeill because of the rotation. So, like, for example, this rep here, that's 52.
Yeah.
Which is one of the issues with watching full tape. But like, yeah, you can see there's a 9 there.
Yeah, no, this is probably more for offensive line tape than it is defensive line tape, just strictly because offensive line doesn't really rotate all that often unless there's injuries.
Or quarterback, or running back, or receiver.
Or your
Right.
Matt Patricia.
True. And then we get two big
Oh, my.
fourth quarter moments, and then that's when he decides to rotate.
Okay, that was nice. That was McNeill here on this particular rep. He splits the double team here and gets his hands up, which is nice. Going for the deflection.
Love to see.
Well, how do you not catch that?
Yep, that was really, really stupid.
Love to see my pass rushers or linemen try to get into the passing lane.
Oh, went for the cut. Also, I don't necessarily know if this means a whole heck of a lot, but NC State does have a pretty darn good history in recent years of putting out some pretty good defensive tackles, and even more so defensive linemen in general. So they do have a pretty good lineage in terms of players who have come out recently that are notably developed. Oh, that was great displacement. I don't know if that was McNeill or not for sure, but
I'm fairly confident it was.
okay, sinker, second one. Okay, that's definitely him on this rep. Nice sinker, and very disciplined, very, very mentally disciplined. Talked about this a little bit with Levi and earlier in this. Not going to go out of his way to get into the gap, not going to go out of his way to over pursue. He's going to stay disciplined, stay in the line, make sure that no one gets past his area of the field, and then when he starts to get brought down, be a part of that play. Oh, okay. A little bit of a stunt game there.
That wasn't.
It wasn't McNeill, but just an interesting play in general. What are the receivers doing for him to have to hold the ball for that freaking long? That's going to be the Lions.
Nothing.
That's going to be the Lions in 2021, by the way. Okay,
Sad. Poor Jared Goff. He's gonna go from Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Josh Reynolds, Van Jefferson, to
Sammy
Tyrell
Watkins, Brandon
Williams,
Cooks.
Rashad Perriman, and Quintez Cephas.
And Damian Ratley and Khalif Raymond.
I
didn't even know they were. Actually, I did because we talked about them, but still, if you didn't talk about them in our break, I would have not known if they were on the team.
I didn't mention them on purpose for what it's worth.
Fair enough.
They're speed threats. Raymond in particular is going to be a special teams guy for us. And Ratley was a Dorsey pick in Cleveland. I'm fairly certain that he was the main influence over that pickup. What are the linebackers doing? My God.
I haven't seen a worse linebacker group since I watched Lions tape earlier this year.
Great
Thank you,
anchor.
NFL Network. Asante Samuel Jr. is the son of Asante Samuel. I did not know that.
Funny how that works. Did you by chance know that Vladimir Guerrero Jr. happens to be the son of Vladimir Guerrero Sr.?
I mean, I yes. Even if I didn't know who Vlad Guerrero Sr. was, that was probably a good guess.
Okay, nice tackle by the
That was
defender.
actually a good tackle.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, that's 28. Do you really have a 28 and a 29 at defensive tackle? How random is that? Oh, that was nice. Okay, that was McNeill
That was a
creating
nice
on that.
play.
So we
You
do
can
have.
tell the difference between what happens when he's on.
Yep.
Seems when there's a lot of four-man fronts, he's not really in the game. You know, it seems like when there's like four down linemen, he's in the game less than he is in when they're on three downs.
Yep.
Linemen.
That is very interesting considering I'm fairly confident that we're going to run four down quite well the
Frequently.
majority of the time.
Yep.
Yes.
Still,
I
that'd
mean,
be a
I'm
nice
not
play.
saying he can't play four down. That's just something I
Yeah.
noticed.
Yeah, he'll play one tech here, predominantly.
Yeah, that was just something I noticed. I wasn't saying me saying he can't play it.
And we can play three. I mean, we have the option to be versatile, multiple front.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Especially with our our sad linebacker group. I mean, Jamie Collins seems like a Rams linebacker, that type of versatile Samson Ebukam type of guy. So obviously, I know we don't. Well, some of our defensive staff comes from the Rams, so
Yep.
it could be definitely a versatile, multiple type of defense that we could run.
And the scouting staff, Agnew and Holmes, both Rams.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I
Assistant
wasn't
coaches.
talking to the front office, but yeah, the
Well, do think that it does play a little bit more of a part than people are realizing. Especially with Campbell not really being the X's and O's type of schematic type guy.
right,
I do think
Yeah.
that we're taking quite a bit of pieces from the Rams' philosophy and implementing that. And Brady and I talked a little bit about, oh, that was a nice move by McNeill. Brady and I talked a little bit about that off camera too, and how this is kind of a nice little bit of a combination between the Saints' philosophies and going for a guy like Sewell and really beefing up that offensive line. Uh,
yeah,
like New Orleans did, but also beefing up the defensive interior, which is something that the Rams are widely known for, with guys like
yeah,
Donald, with guys like Brockers, amongst multiple others. Prioritizing, not necessarily known for their edge rushers like Abukom and Leonard Floyd and whoever the heck else they've had over the multiple years since, uh, but really relying on that interior presence and that pass rush inside to create pressure. I think it's something that will take more from the Rams system than the Saints system. That's a little bit more reliant on guys like Cam Jordan and Marcus Davenport off the edge historically.
That's a bit of a hold on number one.
What the heck? I mean, to be fair, nice run by Javonte Williams here,
Yeah, that's a very good run.
but like, I mean, from a defensive perspective, that ew, dime.
That was not a good throw.
That was.
That well, I mean, that was, but he also had nobody. Thank you,
What are
corner.
you
Very cool.
doing? Oh my
Thank you,
God.
cornerback.
very cool.
I didn't want to turn this into an NC State defense roasting session, but like, what are between the linebackers and the secondary, uh, they have some very obvious issues. How are they 4-1?
That's a good question, Chris. I don't know if I can answer that.
Is their offense really that?
That's a great push by me. That's a great rep right there. Go back.
And then again, uses that arm length, right? We talked
Yeah.
about that a little bit earlier in the video. Right here, he's able to send that arm and then climb right over the top of that to
Force
get
the
the pressure.
throwaway.
Okay, good control. Nice run by Javonte Williams again. Oh my. A little bit too much on that, Sam. Okay, nice again. Okay, so yep, not necessarily the greatest at two gapping, which along with the Levi pick, which was my biggest issue with him too,
Yeah.
screams to me that this is going to be one gap penetrating front all day long. Because if he were two gapping here, I can't necessarily confirm that he is, based on what the linebackers are doing. But if he's supposed to be two gapping, well, even then it was this guy that kind of more got blown out. But still, if he's supposed to be two gapping here, he does not get off of that near quickly enough to be able to get into the gap. So definitely do not necessarily want him to be a two gapper. Nice throw, Sam. Okay, so that is actually him that's going to be lined up on the outside here. It's actually going to be at 3 tech for a change, because they have this huge dude at interior. And it's a pretty nice job splitting. Keep it, keep it, keep it. Oh, too late. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
That's good job splitting.
Yep, and then getting out of it with a nice spin
And
counter.
then nice splitting, yeah.
I'm curious if what we might end up doing is running some 52 front base looks and maybe trying to invent a 51 package for sub. Where instead of replacing the linebacker with a safety, we replace the linebacker with a defensive lineman.
Interesting.
So basically, we would have like our 2 ends on the 2 tackles and then 3 defensive tackles on the 3 interior linemen. Because especially with the depth that we have at those interior spots this year, it can make for some very fun sets to get those 5 of those guys out there at the same time. Oh, that was a nice shot.
Yeah, I mean, did we cut Danny Shelton?
Yes, we did.
Okay. I thought I remembered that. I didn't remember seeing him on a depth chart, but I also don't remember hearing that he got cut.
Oh, that was pretty. I don't know.
About a month ago.
Yeah, we cut him, I think, technically before free agency started even, didn't we?
Yeah.
Interesting. I figured we would, but
No, it wasn't. Okay. It wasn't either. That wasn't either. That wasn't either.
I think they've just taken him out at this point because the game's over.
Yeah, we'll keep watching just in case, but only less 20 seconds left. Yeah, well, I think you're right. So, with that said, well, this kind of wraps up a little bit at the end. It doesn't look like they're going to put him back in. I think you're right. So, what are your guys? Oh, there it is officially. Your guys' final thoughts on Alim?
I'll let Keelan go first.
okay. Yeah, I really like it. Really like him. I think he has a great burst. I think he has great gap control. I think he's going to be an elite one gap rusher from the nose or one tech. I think he's just going to crush opposing centers or guards or whoever they put on him. And I think he just has
Oh my
some
gosh.
elite physical abilities, and he's got great technique.
Bring you go.
Right. I mean, I've been a fan of him for a minute. I mean, he's very physical, very disciplined. And with his when he's one gapping, very art for a guy of his size. Very good with his pass rushing ability, and I think he's going to be someone that as actual designated third down one tech. I think he'll be someone that really could work well with the Lions.
Nice. So I'm going to go over my grades a little bit here. So, low grade, I think he eventually has potential to be a 3-down IDL, or I should say IDT. I'll just call him 2-down DL, 3-down. And then I'm going to move Uzuriki to 3-down defensive lineman. Okay, concerns, definitely nothing in terms of mental, or we wouldn't have taken him. I don't think he has anything injury related or anything like that either. Didn't knocked
Nothing.
out.
No, I can't think of anything.
Yeah, if he had anything character related, he certainly wouldn't be a Lion, so I'm going to go with nothing there. Player comparison, this one was blatantly obvious to me. I'm going with Maurice Hurst. Uh,
Yeah, I can see it.
I see so many similarities to what I saw from Maurice Hurst out of Michigan. Very similar in terms of role, both undersized noses, both very similar in terms of their short yardage ability. That was the one thing that I really, really loved for those of you guys who have been here long enough to see the Maurice Hurst breakdowns I did. Uh, I hammered on about that over and over and over and over and over again. Uh, when I did my Mo Hurst breakdowns, and I saw a lot of the same things in those short yardage stats from Liam. Uh, that burst of explosiveness there, both above average, but not elite athletes. But man, they very similar play styles and very similar roles as well in defense. So uh, that comp was very blatant to me upon first glance. Your guys' thoughts on that,
Yeah, I can see it.
Keelan?
I think I like McNeill a bit more than I did Hurst, but yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, yeah, same. I like McNeil more than I liked Hurst, but yeah, I could see the similarities in terms of how they play.
Nice. Biggest strength is
I'd say natural
as
power.
okay, interesting. Not what I was going to go with. Keelan,
Pardon?
your biggest
Oh,
strength?
biggest strength. My apologies. To me, I was gonna go with motor personally.
Okay, that was a little bit closer. For me, it's going to be mental discipline.
That works. Yeah, that kind of all goes together for me personally.
And then biggest weakness, I kind of want to say two gapping again, to be honest.
Probably. I mean, he doesn't have any
Yeah.
glaring weaknesses. He's obviously well.
Yeah, I'd say two gapping again, probably his biggest concern.
I'm not too concerned, but
And
especially
yeah,
in this.
he's not going to have to do that here more likely than not, especially based on what we saw from Levi. So,
Yeah.
but or high floor, high ceiling, bust potential, probably about the same. Well, actually, it's going to be even less because he went on day three. I'm going to go with like 5%, even if he just becomes a rotational piece for us. As a day three defensive tackle, I'm 100% fine with that.
I'd say mid floor.
Okay.
Personally, I just to me, high floor means like you're gonna be a starter for sure. At worst.
Yeah, fair. Games watched were Wake Forest 19, or actually 20. What was
Yeah.
Levi's
Yeah, Wake
2019?
Forest, Duke, and UNC.
Duke and UNC.
Yep. Not North, not Core. Carolina 20. Okay. Run defense for me is probably going to be 24 again. Pass defense is also probably going to be 23 again. Athleticism for me is going to be a little bit lower than Levi, especially given that we didn't really get to see that same versatility. So I'm only going to go 22 this time. But I will go with the 25 mentals. So basically the same grades I gave Levi, just two less athleticism. Uh, kind of similar in terms of their player profile in a way, and that checks out with the athletic comparison we made at the beginning too. I brought up the similarities in their athletic profile with the RES scores, and I feel like their play styles are well slightly different based on their frames and a little bit more of their technical skill sets. You definitely get a feel for their potential and their abilities in as similar. The profile is very consistent there. It's easy to see why. Okay, we like Levi, we like Alim.
Mhm.
So it's going to be 2 points lower than uh, my Levi grade, which ends up, of course, becoming a 94 or another A.
For me personally, I gave him a 23 in all three of the first uh, three categories. I gave him a 25 in mentals.
Okay, so basically the same thing. You just took one from
Differently.
I
athleticism,
didn't
or took
really.
one from run D and took added it to athleticism.
I don't remember what you did. To
I
be
did
honest with
20. I
you.
did 24 run, 23 pass, 22 athlete, and 25 mental.
No, fair enough.
Brings. Do both of those sound kind of fair to you?
Um, I mean, it's a little higher than I had to give, but it's nothing that's. But I wouldn't call it out of pocket. It's a bit higher than what I had, but it's not an out of pocket grade.
Cool. Yeah, and I think I am kind of looking at this a little bit optimistically too, from the standpoint of like,
Yeah.
okay,
Because
this
he's
is a guy that's going
on
to
your
be,
damn team.
this is going to be a guy who's going to be coming here next year, and this is what I think he can become a little bit more so than I normally do. I normally try and focus a little bit more on the floor element, whereas once the guys are on the team, especially given our vision, I do probably tend to take a little bit more ceiling into account, and I probably should. Uh, so that might be playing a little bit of a factor in why both of these guys are higher. If I watched these guys a month ago with the same mindset, they'd probably be 3 or 4 points lower.
Especially McNeill. I think Levi's probably closer.
Yeah. And then one sentence summary for me, uh, interior DT who can shoot gaps at a high level on day one. So how would you guys sum up McNeill's game in one sentence?
Well, I think you had it covered. I don't know that I would really disagree with you too much, to be honest with you. Um, yeah, I would sum it up as a high upside player who can stay on the field for 3 downs and has the mental capacity, I don't want to say capacity, mental traits to become a future leader on a football team.
Nice. Braden?
Interior pass rush specialist with upside to grow into a 3-down player.
Nice. Okay, cool. So you guys have anything else to add on Alim McNeill before we wrap this one up?
Negative.
I do not.
Awesome. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one, learned a thing or two along the way. I forgot to say that after the Levi vid. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this over the course of the rest of the weekend. Going to be covering the other day 3 picks that we make, whoever that ends up being, tomorrow. And then, of course, we have the Levi video that's coming out probably basically the exact same time as this one, and the Iffy video, Malifalu video, that's going to be coming out basically right immediately after this one. So, for those of you guys looking to check out the rest of our draft class, definitely going to be going over those guys as well. But for now, hopefully you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Stay safe, stay healthy, all that fun stuff, and peace out.